Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa, just coming to you here on March 24th, Friday night. We're going into the weekend, and we have a lot of interesting videos. I'm going to be making some videos this weekend, some of them which will be deep dives, but most of them which will be focused on a lot of the action components on this course, because I want to get into the nitty-gritty of what we can actually do, because we've covered pretty much all of the philosophical basis of this course. And if you have not watched my video on the why you have to follow this philosophy, this is the philosophical basis of that, and perhaps I will put the link in the description, but you can search for it on my YouTube page, why you have to follow this philosophy. So just today, going into the weekend, I wanted to plant in your mind a thought to contemplate, and it's going to serve you well in the formation of your intentions and goals. And of course, we're going to go into the difference between intentions and goals, as the great Trevor Blake has explained it, which basically is that intention is a goal that has the component of doubt taken or stripped out of it. Intention is a goal that you see as already being accomplished. And this is what Neville, Abraham Hicks, Bashar, and all of the great spiritual teachers talk about. And we're just trying to present it in a manner that is applicable to business people and to everyday people in their business and their everyday lives. So the thought that I want to convey today, and what I want to talk about today, is the injunction: don't care what other people think. You do not have anything to prove to anyone. Now, first of all, what harm can there be in trying to please people, in trying to show off? Because, of course, all of the great spiritualities, Islam talks about riya, that we are not to do actions to show off to other members of the creation. Christianity, Jesus said to go into your closet and pray, and do not be as the Pharisees who go outside and raise their voices and so on and so forth to show themselves to others. And of course, these have much deeper and more profound mystical meanings, but today we can just look at that one surface meaning: don't show off, don't do things to please others. Now, why is that? It is not simply a puritanical injunction to deny ourselves the pleasure of having love and friendship and people speaking well of us and so on and so forth. It's just taking into account that, first of all, just from a common sense and what you can see on the ground perspective, is that people are fickle. As the old adage goes, yesterday a hero, today a zero. If you please someone today, they're not going to be pleased tomorrow. You're not going to know whether they are truly pleased with you, because they may be lying to you, and you're not going to be able to please anyone completely. That's just what we know from the ground. So why would you waste your effort in trying to please others? Second of all, you're not here to please others from a metaphysical standpoint. You are here to pursue your own desires, and of course, communication and interaction with others is a big component of that. Because when you communicate with others and you're able to refine your desires, when you get into a negative situation with others, or you're not, say, able to please others, that also refines your desire, and it puts into the universe a request for something better, and that is immediately answered. So there's use in that. But from the metaphysical level, you're not here to please others. And this goes even deeper into the fact that everyone has free will. And now, this is a paradox, because as we know from the highest levels of the scale of being, that there is no division. There are no others. There's only one, and you are the one, and your consciousness is the only one. However, when we chose to come down into this game, or into this illusion, implicit in the multiplication of unity and the setting up of an observer and an observed and another, and the separation of consciousness into individual consciousnesses, implicit in that is the assumption that there's free will. For indeed, for there to be a consciousness, there would be free will. Otherwise, it would be unconscious. And then you would be able to predict completely the way others would behave in this sphere. And of course, we'll go into tools which will allow us to rise up and indeed predict what others are doing and so forth, view remotely and influence others and so forth. But these are deep tools. But you're not in that all the time. You come back to the game and then you go out of the game. You use the tools from above to influence the game, and that also becomes part of the fun of the game. But just from the fundamental standpoint, free will is implicit in the deal. And if others have free will, they can have the free will to choose not to assent to your attempt or your desire to please them. So, for example, if I want to impress, let us say, my friend by attaining a very nice house, let's say, that friend could look at that house and say, well, I'm not impressed. I don't care what kind of a house you have. So therefore, my attempt was in vain. So therefore, it is completely a waste of time to try to please others. And indeed, when you have these tools, you know that no one creates your reality, so you don't need to enlist the help of a single other in getting everything that you want. As we've said in the more philosophical videos, any cause can bring about any effect once we rise higher in the scale of being and we know the true reality. And that's when the game, ladies and gentlemen, actually becomes fun. But I just wanted to talk about this, letting go of the opinions of others. As the great Peter Sage calls it, I believe, goop, the good opinion of others, and you're stuck in the goop. You want to get out of that, because you'll never be able to please others. And as the great Abraham Hicks talks about, no one is here to put their full attention on you anyway, because everyone is here to selfishly create their own reality. Because everyone is you. You understand? So do not make attempts to please others. And I want to go into this in the vein of intentions and goals. Because when you create an intention, Vadim Zeland highlights this in his great book, Reality Transurfing. It's a long book, and I'd recommend that you read at least portions of it, because it's a very good experience, and it basically goes into more deeply what all the spiritual teachers have been talking about throughout the ages. But what he goes into, excuse me, is he says that one of the main causes of resistance and what he calls giving importance and therefore pushing your desire further away is the fact that the desire is either completely or partially not yours. And what he means by not yours is that these desires were conceived with the aim of either showing off to others or pleasing others or living up to some exterior standard. Remember, you have no exterior standard. The standard is internal. The standard is how you feel. The standard is your emotion. And when you try to invest that emotional scale, that standard, when you try to give that the ability to create that standard to something exterior to you, you will never have certainty. That's why there's no authority. That's why your inner authority is the only true authority, because no one can be that standard for you, nor should they be. So how can we actually illustrate an example to make this practical? Many people desire to be rich and wealthy, even though they've not defined this. This is failure from the get-go, because, first of all, instead of trying to embody the feeling and the state of what it would be to be wealthy, they look at externals and they say, when I have this external thing, I will be wealthy. And then they give importance to that and they can't feel it, and so they push it further away from them. And it's a self-perpetuating circle of defeat, so to speak. That's the first thing. The second thing is that when people usually are thinking about being wealthy, a high percentage of that is to please others, to please the society, and to show off. Well, this is not your desire, so first of all, you're not going to be able to focus in a way to bring that desire about, because your subconscious is going to be sabotaging you. It's going to be saying, hey, this is not my desire, so why should I focus on this? Now, there are two choices here. One is that Vadim Zeland talks about. You can, through practice and effort, make something that is not truly your desire be your desire and attain that. Because anything is possible in the field. So even if having a great mansion is not truly my desire, I just want to have that to show off. And partially I want it, but partially I want it to show off. I can make that my desire through autosuggestion and through the tools that we teach in this course. But that's a lot of effort. And in this course, we discourage exterior and interior effort because they both come from the place of I have to go out and struggle and get something. This course teaches you that you are everything already that you desire, and all you have to do is allow it in. Therefore, that allows for a lot less stress and a lot less headache and a lot less heartache, and things begin to flow into your life with ease. But what we encourage you to do in this course, you could make the desire yours by enough focus. But if you find that you're having to focus a lot, you're having to apply the tools, I'm applying the tools, and you're having to work hard at it, it's probably because the desire is not truly yours. So what we encourage people to do in this course is sit down and journal and ask yourself, what is my true desire in this? My desire, not my parents' desire, not what I think will look good for me in the society desire, but my desire. So you strip all of the extraneous trappings of that exterior desire, that desire that's not yours, but that's something that's imposed upon you by pendulums, by the society, and you boil it down to what your true desire is. And first of all, it's usually a lot easier to attain than you could imagine, because you no longer have to jump through all of these hoops to please everybody. Tony Robbins talks about this in his book about money, and it's a great book, and I recommend people read it. He says that many people, they want to be billionaires, but then when they actually boil down how much it would cost to have everything that you want, it usually becomes a fraction of that. So a person, instead of having to say have $1 billion, I think they whittled one of them down, and he only had to have $5 million to get what he wanted. That's a principle. But the more you boil your desire down, the easier it becomes to attain, and the easier it becomes to interiorly align with it. And so therefore you'll bring it into your reality quicker, and you'll be a lot happier. So, my friends, start, and of course, you can't totally not care what other people think, because you're always going to viscerally react to that, especially those people that are closer to you and the people that you love. But try your best to sort of X out or blank out what other people think. Joel Goldsmith said that in his spiritual teaching, he told people, I want you to walk around with blinkers on, and like a horse would with blinkers. And in this context of this course, we teach intense focus, not effort, but intense focus. And in order to focus, you have to drown out as much of the noise as you can. You have to eliminate the noise. And a lot of that noise is desires that aren't yours and caring about what other people think. And that's a derivative of caring about what other people think and trying to please others. You can get rid of this tendency to try to please others if you contemplate upon the fact that I am everything I need to be. I am perfect and amazing just the way I am. And I don't have to prove anything to anybody. You do not have to prove anything to the world. You're not here to prove anything to the world. And the great irony is that once you drop the need or the wish to prove anything to the world, you're going to prove everything to the world, because you are going to become one of those people who are at the top of whatever it is you want to pursue. But first you have to give up and drop trying to please others, trying to show off, trying to have the good opinion of others. The more you seek the good opinion of others, the more it eludes you. But the less you care about the opinions of others, the more good opinion you'll actually have. And that's one of the paradoxes. So my friends, don't care what other people think. have your own desires and your intentions and actually contemplate them and strip them down to their bare essentials, which is what do I truly desire. I don't care about the desires of others or trying to please others. I want what I truly desire. And you have the right to do that because it's why you came. So my friends, we're going to make more interesting videos this weekend, so please stay tuned to my channel. We also have a Facebook group, The Real Javier Novoa, in which I'll be posting a case study. I am also starting a channel on BitChute, which is a free speech platform, and you can go and visit me there at The Real Javier Novoa. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.